All right, guys, today we got part 2 of trig functions of any angle. Started it last time. I'm going to finish it this time. So trig functions of any angle. You watch this really closely, by the way. All right, biggest word today is reference angle. It's already been highlighted up there, and you can read that definition up there, exactly what it is. Basically, it is this. A reference angle is between, it's acute, and it's how far away the terminal side is, or the angle is, from the x-axis, the nearest x-axis. So if you're looking at an angle that's in quadrant 2, that's the reference angle right there. How far away are we? If you're looking at quadrant 3, the reference angle is right there. How far are we? If you're looking at quadrant 4, the reference angle is right there. How far are we? That's why I'm saying it's always acute, and you can find it just by figuring out how far away from the x-axis are you. Now, of course, the x-axis in degrees is like 0 degrees, 180 degrees, 360 degrees. You could keep going like that. In radians, it's like 0 radians, 1 pi radians, 2 pi radians, and you could keep going round and round. And that's, again, biggest thing about the slide, reference angle. How far away in degrees or radians are you from the nearest x-axis? And it's always acute. It's the closest x-axis to where you are. All right, this one says find the reference angle. The first one here says 5 pi over 3. Okay, so I already drew the pictures on here. 5 pi over 3 is really 1 2/3 pi. That's the best way to think about it. Make it a mixed number. Make the 5/3 become 1 2/3, and think about what that is. There's half a pi. There's 1 pi. There's 1 1/2 pi. There's 1 2/3 pi right there. So we're right here. So the reference angle is right here. How far are we away from 2 pi? If we went 1 2/3 pi, that means we're 1/3 pi away from the x-axis. So the way we write 1/3 pi is we just write 1 pi over 3. All right, so the reference angle is pi over 3. Degrees may make a little more sense to you. This one says negative 130. Okay, so if I start here, remember if you're going negative, you're going this direction. So I'll go to negative 90, negative 130, not quite to negative 180. So the reference angle is going to be right there. Okay, so I went negative 130. I didn't do a very good job on that 130. How far away am I from negative 180? Well, I'm 50 degrees away. Okay, and that's how you do reference angles. Okay, how far away from the nearest x-axis are you? It's got to be positive, and it's got to be acute. All right, so knowing that, we can do any angle. We can find the trig function of any angle by doing 3 steps. Number 1, we're going to find the reference angle every time. Number 2, we're going to figure out what the trig value is at that angle, and then we're going to get the sign for our answer, or sign of the angle, based on what quadrant it is in. Okay, now quadrant 1, everything's positive. Quadrant 2, remember, sine is y, cosine's x. So in quadrant 2, sine and cosecant are positive, cosine, secant negative, because they're x and y. Quadrant 3, almost everything's negative except for tangent, because remember, tangent's y over x, which means cotangent's x over y. When you divide two negatives, you get a positive. Quadrant 4, your y's are negative, your x's are positive, and because the signs are different, tangent, cosecant, cotangent are negative. Now, also tangent, cotangent negative in quadrant 2, because those signs are different. Remember, tangent's y over x. Okay, I'm going to show you one more slide here and how this works. All right, 2 of them here. It says find tangent negative 240. Now, you don't have to, eventually you will get to where you want to draw these, but negative 240 goes, there's negative 90, negative 180. Negative 240 is about right there. All right, so the reference angle is just this part. Remember, this right here was negative 180. So how far above 180 did we go? We went 60. So really what I'm doing is tangent 60, which is a very famous one. Tangent of 60 is the square root of 3. That's the value. So, didn't mean to do that, Mark. So what quadrant are we in? We're in quadrant 2. What is tangent in quadrant 2? Remember, tangent's y over x, so, or sine over cosine. And in quadrant 2, y is positive, but x is negative. And if you divide those, you get a negative number. So there's our value. So let's review what we did. We found the reference angle for tangent 240, which was 60. We knew the value of tangent 60 is square root of 3. And then because we're in quadrant 2, tangent's always negative in quadrant 2. That was a lot. Let's do one more. Cosecant 17 power 6. Now, first thing again, let's make it mixed. So 6 goes into 17 2 times. It's 5 left over. So I'm really going to do 2 and 5 6 pi. So that's 0. That's 1 pi. That's 2 pi. We'll keep going. That's 3 pi. So it's going to look like this. I'm starting here. I'm going to go 1 pi, 2 pi, and 5/6 of another one's way over there, which means the other part of that angle is right there. So my reference angle is this part. It's the little part right there. So if I went to and 5/6 of another one, how far away from the x-axis am I? I'm 1/6 pi, or pi over 6. So I've got to find cosecant pi over 6. Now what I do, I don't know my cosecants, but I do know sine pi over 6. Sine pi over 6 is 1/2, which means the cosecant's reciprocal of that, which means reciprocal of 1/2 is 2. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have circled that yet. That's cosecant pi over 6. I need 17 pi over 6. What quadrant are we in? We're in quadrant 2. And cosecant and sine are both y's. Y is positive in quadrant 2, which means the cosecant of 17 pi over 6 is actually positive 2. And there, I could have circled it because I was actually right that time. But because it was in a quadrant where y is positive. Okay, it looks like a lot, seems like a lot, kind of is. We'll work on it as long as we need to till you get it, and you will. I'll see you tomorrow.